go. Dan Grider, probable cause. Hampton, Georgia, KHMP, my home airport. This is ride along video number 9 of 12. A series of ride along videos where you can ride along in the airplane with me let me show you AQP scenarios. Remember, AQP scenarios are far different than FAA ACS maneuvers. ACS maneuvers are what you use to get your license. AQP scenarios are things that are going to happen to you after you get your pilot's license. Today's lesson has to do with a lesson on the AQP series ROTOT. It's a new one, reduction of thrust on takeoff. Just like LOTOT, which is a loss of thrust, ROTOT is even worse. It's even more dangerous because it's a reduction of thrust. It makes you think that your engine is going to be good enough to get you back to the airport. It doesn't actually quit. You'd be money ahead if your engine actually just quit and you could land straight ahead. No, this engine keeps on running and it lulls you into thinking that you probably got enough thrust and energy to make this big turn all the way around to the airport and make it back. ROTOT is probably more deadly than LOTOT. ROTOT is the thing that happened to the AOPA people up in Lake Placid. I went up there. I don't know if you saw that video. I went up there. These guys took off in a high-wing Cessna, had a reduction of thrust on takeoff. They actually had a sputtering engine during run-up, during takeoff. They should have aborted their takeoff. They forced this airplane into the air. This whole thing never should have happened in the first place. But once in the air, with a reduced thrust, they tried to make a big turn to the right and make it back to the airport. We're going to simulate that today. I've got a Cessna that I've borrowed, and I've got our favorite student, Dylan, on his way out here. I'm going to throw him in the left seat of this high-wing Cessna. We're going to go out and make a takeoff. I'm going to cut to the chase and show you when we get out there. I'll just show you the takeoff at 500 feet. I'm going to simulate. I'm going to set a power setting at which he can no longer climb. He can probably barely maintain DMMS and maintain altitude at best. He's going to look for his options. I can tell you what's going to happen here. He's going to go straight ahead and a little left or a little right, but you're definitely, we're going to use runway 6 at Hampton today. You could probably make a takeoff and go a little bit left or a little bit right, but you're certainly not going to be able to make a big, huge 200-degree turn to make it all the way back around. So today's lesson is ROTOT, reduction of thrust on takeoff. I've got 3 more of these AQP ride-along videos to do in the month of December, and then I'll be done with this series for now, and I'll start a fresh series in the year 2024, trying to keep you alive out there in 2023. Let's finish off the year with setting a world record is what we're sure hoping for. Let's go to the airplane. Dylan's on the way. I'm going to throw him in the seat. Let's get this thing in the air.
Okay, we got 1 landing on final. We're holding short for takeoff checklist controls. 3 and correct. Attitude indicator set. Heading indicators set 3, 3, 5, 3, 3. Looks good. Trim set for takeoff. Flap set 10 degrees for takeoff. Check. Doors closed and latched. We're all latched and closed. Good. Fuel selector fullest tank. We're on both. We got 20 gallons. Car heat is off. Mags are on both. Passenger brief. You're gonna brief me in a second, but we're doing a lap around the pattern. Okay. Rejected takeoff brief. We need 60 miles per hour, or we need 60 miles per hour and 2,400 RPM and or pressure in the green, or we're gonna abort the takeoff. We will pull the throttle out, apply the brakes, and abort the takeoff if we don't have that by 50% of the runway. So we want 60 miles per hour, 2,400 RPM, everything in the green by 50% of the runway, or we'll abort the takeoff. Rejected takeoff brief complete. Lost thrust and takeoff brief. There it is, push. We will lose an engine on takeoff. When we do, there it is, push. Fly the airplane all the way to the crash. Flaps down, fly it slowly and controlled. Do not stall the airplane. We can make little turns left, little turns right, but we will not stall the airplane. We will fly out the airplane all the way into the crash. Lost thrust on takeoff brief complete. ROTOT brief, reduced. Reduction of power on, reduction of thrust on takeoff. Here, we'll just cut that.
Yeah, no, you're good. Reduction of thrust on takeoff, that's what it is.
ROTOT brief, reduction of thrust on takeoff. We will have a reduction of thrust on takeoff. When we do, maintain DMS, nose down. We can make little turns left and right. We will not do anything drastic. We're going to maintain DMS the entire time and continue to attempt to climb at DMS. If we cannot climb, or if we need to land the airplane, we will find a field and put the airplane down, or fly the airplane all the way to the crash. No matter what, we will not stall the airplane. Reduction of thrust on takeoff brief complete.
Speedway traffic, helicopter 503 Papa Hotel is about 5 miles to the southwest at 1,900 Speedway.
Alright, gross weight, we're at about 60%. Density altitude should be about 500 or less. Fuel on board, we've got 2.5 hours of fuel. Hot items mixture rich. Landing light on.
Speedway traffic, radar check.
Loud and clear. Landing light on. Where's our landing light? Right there. That's it. Landing light on. We don't have a fuel pump on this. Final is not clear. We got somebody coming in on final. I'll talk with them and make sure we got that in order. And park and brake off. After takeoff checklist, we'll maintain DMS. Put the flaps up and turn the landing lights off.
All right, good. We'll let this guy land. We'll make an announcement, and you're taking off on runway 6. It's the right traffic for 6, but we know that the winds are out of the left.
Minus 2, altimeter 30, 2, 8.
Just off Eagles Land.
Here comes the winds for us.
We'll be off.
So we're going to be conscious of where the winds are from on every takeoff.
Atlanta, Speedway, Airport.
Automatic weather observation. 2157 Zulu. Weather, wind 330 at 4. Visibility 10, clear.
Okay, 330 and 4. It's laying down a little bit, but it's been pretty strong out of the northwest.
It's direct crosswind to our left here.
It's a direct crosswind to our left, so it's right traffic, but if we have any kind of a problem, I'm probably going to favor going to the left. Now, I have set your altimeter just for this video lesson at 0. That's just so we can see what your actual AGL altitude is out here, okay?
Okay.
So just for this lesson. So you're going to get a reduction of thrust on takeoff. I'm going to give it to you at about 500 feet. When it happens, you do your normal memory items and try to get it back, but don't waste very much time. Turn the airplane slightly left or right, depending on what you see out there that might be a viable field. In all cases, I want you to maintain DMMS, even if you have to sacrifice altitude. Once I chop your power and give you your reduction of thrust on takeoff, I'm going to give you a ROTOT. You can no longer touch the carburetor heat or the power. That's mine, and you have to deal with what you have. You turn the airplane the direction you think you ought to go and aim for something safe. I don't care if it's trees or water or field. Find some place where you could probably open the door, step out, and call me. I don't really care where you put this airplane as long as you can open the doors, step out, and call me. That's all it is.
Okay.
Good? All right, let's go do it.
Speedway traffic, Skyhawk 09er Juliet, holding short runway 6. Any traffic at Speedway?
Helicopter 503 Papa Hotel is departing to the west Speedway.
Alright, final is clear. Sun's right there on final, but I don't see anybody. Nobody reported to us, so we're going to take the runway if that's okay with you.
All right, sounds good.
Speedway traffic 09er Juliet, taking runway 6, Speedway traffic.
It's going to be a normal takeoff right until the point where I give you a reduction of thrust. A ROTOT is actually more dangerous than a LOTOT because it did not totally fail. It's going to lull you into thinking that you got plenty of power to make it all the way around and make it back. Maybe you do, but maybe you don't either. So be conservative on it. Get your airplane under control, aircraft control first. You can think about coming back and turning around just depending on how much power. If you're able to climb 100 feet a minute at DMMS, you might be able to bring this thing all the way back for an opposite direction landing. It's possible, but we're gonna see what you get.
Okay. Alright, hot items are complete, mixtures rich. Landing lights are on. We got no fuel pump, fuel is good. Flaps are set. Forward takeoff checklist is all complete. Make sure our heading's good at 065. So that's all set, that's good. Alright, altimeter set at 0, attitude indicator set. Alright. Alright, looks good to me. Let's go. Speedway traffic 09 Juliet, taking our runway 6 and staying in the pattern. Going to be doing a simulated engine failure for runway 6 Speedway.
Alright, you're good. Alright, forward on the yoke a little bit, forward on the yoke. Forward on the yoke, more forward. There you go. Don't let it fly till you're ready for it to fly. Now it can fly. Alright, we got 60. Alright.
Maintain DMS. Flaps up.
Now retrim, you're above DMS, so get the nose up. There you go. Everything's normal up until now. A little bit bumpy and a little bit crosswind out here. You're 400 feet. Here's 500.
Ticket traffic, Scott 733 Mike, 2 miles
Extra throws
south
to
of the
take off.
airfield, parking area, last call.
Maintain DMS. Make sure it's rich. Which tanks were... No tanks are doing anything. Mag check. Nothing's working. Master's on. Primer's locked. We're maintaining DMS. Alright, you field to the left. We're going to try and maintain
Starting the
DMS and make it
entering the
to it.
taxiway, setting up for a midfield takeoff.
Alright, what do you see for options out here to the left? I see a highway out there. I wouldn't try to do a 180 quite yet from here. You're pretty low on energy.
Yeah, low on energy, and we got a crosswind pushing us south.
And you don't know how long this engine is going to last.
Seaway traffic, helicopter 997 departing midfield to the northwest.
See anything good up ahead of you here?
We got a field right in front of us with plenty of grass. I think we can take that.
Okay.
Still maintaining DMS.
Your engine is getting sicker.
Alright, let's go. Once we get the field in range, we're going to set flaps. Looks like we might have a power line. Probably have to cross a road at some point.
Okay.
10 degrees of flaps.
Alright, you put your hand on the throttle now. You can reduce throttle if you need to.
20 degrees of flaps. Maintain DMS.
Alright, power off. And full flaps. Nose down, nose down, nose down. You're going to put it right in this field right here. Alright?
Seaway traffic, Cessna 46269, taxiing out from the blue tee, here's to runway 6 for departure, Seaway.
I got you back full power, nose up now. Climb. There you go. And you make the left-hand turn, you have your engine back. You're going to head back towards the airport. Alright, so what did that feel like?
Well, it definitely felt like a sick engine that, you know, didn't really want to climb, but I wasn't really losing altitude, so you're kind of in no man's land. Do you try and make it back to the airport, or do you put it down? And you never know if the engine's going to go out completely, so you know, it's probably better to put it down in the grass there and practice those approaches.
Exactly. And by the time you had your problem and drifted slightly right, you were already 1.5 miles to 2 miles away from the airport.
Right.
So getting turned around and getting back towards it might have possibly been possible. Every situation is different. All right, you go cruise power right here, and you can enter the right crosswind for 6 from right here.
So we just flew, we landed, I'll debrief that in a second, but before we do, 906 Kilo Sierra, I'm going to show you the picture of this. Ironically, this just happened in Zephyr Hills, Florida. It's a training airplane, a 172 that came over from Lakeland, a student, an instructor on board, making circuits on runway 5, 906 Kilo Sierra. Guess what? They were using runway 5. They had a ROTOT. Exactly what we're talking about today. They suffered a reduction of thrust. Several people on the ground heard the engine roll back and sputter, was not making power. What did they do? They tried to turn left and make it back. Look at the amount of open field that they had straight ahead. They could have gone anywhere straight ahead, but they elected to turn left. What happens when you turn hard left? You spill your energy, you spill your lift. These guys loaded the wing, they stalled, they spun, they hit this thing. They weren't very high. They should have never attempted a 90-degree left-hand turn to get back. 906 Kilo Sierra, ironically, just happened. Another ROTOT. I'm telling you, go straight ahead. Do not turn this airplane maybe a little left or a little right or something like that, but that's really all you can do. Here's the debrief from Dylan's flight today. Good job. We turned a little bit left. Notice we overflew a little bit of water, a little bit of stuff, several options, but at 500 feet, we weren't going anywhere. It would have been a 200-degree heading change to make a right-hand turn and make it back to land opposite direction on runway 24 Hampton. We're not doing it. We're going to take something straight ahead. The objective is put it someplace, I don't care where, in the water, in the trees, in a field. If you're in a retractable gear airplane, land gear up and full flaps, land straight ahead, gear up full flaps, then you retract. Otherwise, whatever your kind of airplane it is, land full flaps straight ahead, hit it as slow as you can, hit the cheapest thing you possibly can, and put it in the field. Open the door and call me. That's all it is. If you put it someplace, I always tell Dylan, I don't really care where you put it, I'll come and get it out. No problem. Your only objective is to put that thing someplace where you can undo your seatbelt, open the door, step out, and call me. That's it. Hope you appreciate this ride along video. This is number 9 of 12, and we'll still get 3 more done for the year. And I'm going to get this thing done, up, and on the air. For my tiny little itty bitty fledgling YouTube channel, Dan Grider, Probable Cause.